Yo, whatever everyone, this is J Plus Type Beat, and today's we're talking about the time I cracked my head open on a New York City bench. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Before we hop into the video, I just want to say I really appreciate all the support and everything. I got 120 views last video. We're getting about consistent 20 views per day, and we're getting constant likes, constant viewers. I really do appreciate it. The short was almost at 1,000 views, but got deleted. This is how YouTube is. But I really do appreciate all the support, guys. Seriously, this is something I really enjoy doing. And the fact that you guys are enjoying it is just awesome. So, let's just hop right into it. Pretext of the story, this is the time I cracked my head open on a New York City bench. So, essentially what happened was I was in about 4th or 5th grade, like I said, to give some pretext. We had our neighbor, the Steffens, we're going to call them. And we had Shannon and Justin were the neighbors that we had. Shannon was my age. Justin was my brother's age, and they were like literally right on our road, which is awesome. You know, great neighbors, awesome neighbors. If you any of you guys are listening to this, we love you guys. You guys have a lot of memories when I was a little kid, and it was an awesome time. So pretty much, what happened was, my mom hit them up, was like, "Hey, you trying to go sledding?" Shannon and Justin were like, "Yeah, no problem. Let's go sledding." So we picked them up, literally run our road. We headed over to this park. Now, this park we're going to call Hill Park. Essentially, this park had a lot of funding because it was right in the city, like I said. So this park was always changing, always things to do there. But there was this massive hill there. And this hill, people were known to sled on it. Like, you would always see when it would snow out, you would always see people on this hill. And since it was pretty steep and everything, you know, you go pretty fast. That's how, like, a normal sledding goes. You on a hill, you usually go pretty fast, you know. That's usually how it works. So we head over there. Now, to describe sledding, right? Everyone knows this. You have your circle sled, you know, the little sled that you sit on. It's like a circle and like the two handles on the side and you sled down. That one can go relatively fast. Then you have like that one sled that everyone knows of that goes crazy fast. It has like the slick back, plastic back with the two handles on the side like every sled does. But like it was just that flat, slim sled that always goes crazy fast. And, you know, everyone knows this. You know, you get a running start, you jump on the ground with the sled, and you just start sliding right down. Like I said, you add this super fast sled and a hill, you can see how that goes. You know what I'm saying? A steep hill. We bring the Steffens, like I said, we bring them to the park. I remember it was a very snowy day. My mom was always very cautious when it snowed out. You know, it was a very common thing where it's like, hey, we're going to go sledding, but you guys got to be careful. So, had all my winter gear on, and we head over there, like I said. So, we arrive at the park. Like I said, it was like 2 miles away. Very close park. Awesome park. So, we go to this hill. So, we start sledding and everything, and Justin and my brother, they doing their thing. Shannon starts sledding. I'm pretty sure they have their own sleds. And I remember this very specifically. I was always scared of the fastest sled, and I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but like on a steep hill, that you know you go like you're just known to go really fast on, and when you're a little kid, you're amazed by it. I was a little scared because I don't know how fast I can really go, and if I'm gonna lose control or not, right? So I don't remember. I remember I slid down several times, but it would always hop off right at the end because I didn't want to hit anything, you know. Because you're going pretty fast, you would just kind of fall off the board, and then with the friction from the snow of you jumping off, you immediately stop, right? And your sled just flies by. I remember this. So let's set the setting. So you have a hill, and then you have about 4 or 5 park benches at the end of this hill, but it's like it's like 30 feet, 20 to 30 feet from the hill as you're going down, like the crest of the hill where you're going down where it meets the flat part. You have these benches, and it's looking out in water because you're on the coast. And there's this massive bridge, too, to add some context. The massive bridge heads between boroughs. I'm not going to describe anymore, but that's all you're going to get, right? So, because I don't want you guys to know where it was. And at the crest of the hill, like I said, there's these park benches. I would always keep knowing that. Like I said, that's why I hopped off the sled. So, I take the sled. Now, this is a super fast sled like I described before. Now, I was using the pretty slower sled before that. So, I'm all ready to go. Little kid me. ready to hop on the sled and go pretty fast. And it was always pretty exciting, especially when someone created like a jump. I always just, for some reason, I loved going off of jumps when sledding. But pretty much, I hop on the sled, and me and Shannon go down at the same time. Shannon, she loves sledding too. Just to add some context, she loves sledding. It was always a great time, and I remember we were always both pretty scared of the steep hill, but like we'd always take it with caution. So we're at the top of the hill. We look at each other. It's kind of like one of those when you're about to go into battle, and like you look at your homie, or you look at your nearest soldier, and you kind of look at each other like, you ready to go? Do like that fist pound thing, and then you go right down. So it's we're both excited. We're about to go down. We're like, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "Ready." So I take my sled. I get a running start. I hop down. She starts heading down like a second or two before me. Now, as we're going down, I kind of get in like a sitting position. So I'm like crisscross applesauce on the sled with the two handles on the side. Like I said, like this was a very slippery sled, so we go pretty fast on the steep hill. I remember, so I'm going down this hill, right? And I'm gaining speed, and all of a sudden I hit Shannon. So I hit Shannon, and I start spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And so I duck down, and I'm holding crisscross applesauce, kind of like ducking down, but like I kind of lean back at the same time too. So I'm crisscross applesauce, handles on the side, but I also start losing traction because I'm spinning. And then I remember I duck down. I'm ducking down. I like how I'm enacting this, like as I'm doing it, but like as I'm describing it. So I'm ducking down, and I'm spinning, and now I hit the crest of the hill. And it was like slow-mo. I still remember to this day, it was slow-mo. I'm spinning, and I remember I leaned down. Really remember this part, but I'm spinning, and all of a sudden, black out. And I wake back up, like, in a second, and I'm, like, under this park bench. And you know, like, I wouldn't know this. You know, like, the legs to a bench? You know, they're always screwed down or bolted down to the cement. So, you know, obviously no one's going to mess with that bench. They're going to take it off. Well, my head hit that, right? So, that's obviously why I got knocked out. So, I'm sitting there like, I wake up, I'm like, what the hell is happening? I immediately put my hand on my head. And I get up and I stumble. And Shannon looks at me like, oh my God, you're bleeding. I'm like, what? And, like, I'm so dazed and confused, like, what the hell just happened? Because I just blacked out. I hit this bench, like, going pretty fast. And my mom's on top of the hill, like, to the left side from where I am. And she looks at me, and she's like, oh, my God, like, freaks out. The Steffens are all staring at me. My brother's staring at me. Mom's staring at me, like, what the hell? They're all in shock because they're seeing me bleeding. So my mom runs down the hill, picks me up. I'm in her arms. Now I start crying because I'm like, yo, this is not good. Like, the fact that she's freaking out is making me cry. So she's running up the hill like, oh my God, you're going to be okay. And like, she has her hand on my head like, you're going to be okay. Don't worry. So like, she's telling the Steffens, my brother, like, all right, guys, let's run up. Let's go to the van. We got to head out now. So we do that. We go to the van, put me in the van. And now, when we had this van, like years later, there's still a blood stain on this roof of this van because I was like hopping up and down, freaking in this seat in the van, and the blood hits my head hits the ceiling or the top of the van, and you know it's cloth, though it got the blood on there, and it was there to this day. And if that van is still, probably not still alive, that van, because I think it's probably 25 years old, but you know that stain is somewhere. So I'm in this van, I'm freaking out, and I remember this guy's like walking on the sidewalk right near the van, and he has his dog, and my mom's like, do you have anything? Like, he's bleeding a lot, and he's like, yeah, actually I do. And just at the random freaking chance, guys, I tell you, this guy has a roll of paper towels. I know, freaking weird. But, like, I also understand in the aspect of he has a dog, so he's going to pick up the poop. But why don't you, like, doggy bags. I mean, maybe he did, and that's what he used, like maybe wipe his hand or whatever he did with that. But yeah, he just had a roll of paper towels. I remember he just gave us like a huge like wad of like paper towel. My mom puts it on my head, and we grabbed they grabbed a clump of ice, right, and wrapped the ice in the paper towel and then put it on my head. Like, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Don't worry. So my mom's like, essentially freaking out. I'm freaking out. My brother's in the car, like, what the hell just happened? The Steffens are there, like, what the hell this happened? And I don't remember what happened. I don't know if the Steffens get picked up by their pops or not. I don't really remember. Yeah, like, I honestly have no idea what happened to them, the Steffens. I'm pretty sure they left, and so my mom calls my dad. My dad's at work, and my mom's like, like, Julian just hit his head. He's bleeding. He cracked his head open. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, mom's like, well, bring him to the hospital. Like, we gotta bring him to the hospital. And so I'm freaking out. I'm like, where's dad? Where's dad? Like a little kid. Like where's my father? Like, I want, like, what we're gonna do. Like, and I'm just still in shock, like, dazed and confused. My mom's freaking out. My brother's just sitting there. So we head over to the hospital. I don't remember, like, really the part to the hospital, but fast forward to the hospital. We arrive at the hospital, right? We pull up the hospital. My dad happens to be there. He's in his work van. And so my dad picks me up like a little kid, and he's holding me on his shoulder. I have the paper towel on my head, and he starts running me to the hospital. No. My dad has always taught me, and I don't know if your parents taught you this too, but when you're in the hospital, you always look down the ground and you just follow them, right? That's always been that, because when you're in the hospital, it's usually not a good time. Everyone knows that. Unless you're having a kid, then that's great. But, like, besides that one occurrence, or maybe one or two other different kind of things, it's not a good time when you're in the hospital. So my dad's like, look at the ground. I got you. Don't worry. I'm crying. I'm like, okay, my dad's got me. I'm just sitting there like, holy shit. And I'm like, essentially crying on my dad's shoulder, right? As he's running into the hospital. I remember he's like, my kid just cracked his head open. My kid just cracked his head open. Like, he needs help. He needs help. And, like, we're running into the emergency room, and I'm pretty sure, I can at least suspect that everyone's staring at me, but I'm just staring at the ground, like staring at his shoulder, like I can't look at anything. I'm scared. My dad will take care of this. And eventually, like, they're like, all right, we'll take you in. We'll take you in. And I don't remember, like, if we sat down in the waiting room for a period of time, but I remember the next memory of that memory. I remember, it's a lot of words, sitting in this hospital bed, and this doctor is like, you're gonna be all right, doctor or nurse, you're gonna be all right, you're gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. We can just give you a few stitches, and you'll be fine. And I'm like, I'm pretty calm down point, and my parents supported me, like, you're gonna be good. Don't worry. You just need a few stitches, and I got 5 stitches. Now, the number 5 means a lot in my family. It's in our phone numbers. There's a lot of things. I'm born in the October 5th. My dad's born in the 5th of the month. My mom's born in the 5th of the month. My brother is born in the 27th of a month, but 7 minus 2 is 5. So 5 means a lot. I don't know. I just added some context there. Number 5, the meaning to me and our family. But yeah, 5 means a lot of things in our family. So I got 5 stitches. I remember getting back home and just resting up, and then my parents has always sworn by this, is you put vitamin E on scars. Now, when it's healing, one thing I always tell you guys, vitamin E does wonders. It does something to when a wound is healing, where it makes it so it heals nice, so it's not, when you have stitches, or when you get like a scar and you get staples, you have a scar forming, you want to put vitamin E on, because it heals it a certain way. And sometimes when scars heal, it'll make it so, like, the skin is kind of crumbled, if you know what I mean, where, like, it's not like so flat, or the way it was done, the way it healed, it wasn't so, like, seamless, the best way to put it. So it was always like, crumbly. But if you put vitamin E on it, and you stay consistent on it, it's gonna heal pretty nice. So I remember coming back home, my mom was like, put some vitamin E on it, you're gonna be alright. And I had that for probably about like 1 or 2 weeks. It was probably about 2, 3 weeks. And then they got it off. But yeah, pretty crazy story. I know it's a pretty short one. We're about 16 minutes right now, but you know, it is what it is, guys. That is the time I cracked my head open on a New York City bench. Any stories to tell you? If you're scared of that fast sled, you know, don't hop on the fast sled. Or if you're gonna do it, make sure you're like on a wide hill where there's no obstacles at the end. You have a lot of area to hop off. But then again, if you hit another sled or you hit something, you start spitting, then you know you lose control. That stuff happens. Try to hop off, I guess. Another story is when you go to the hospital, listen to your parents because they probably know best about what to do there. I was just taught to look down at the ground. I still do the same thing by nature. If I go to the hospital, I just look down. It's just not a good time when you're in the hospital, I'll tell you. Everyone knows why, right? You're there to get help. Any other stuff? Guys, I really do appreciate all the support in the videos, guys. It's been freaking awesome. It's been honestly amazing to see something I just thought of in the beginning of the year, and it's actually like it's getting views. It's awesome. But that is the time I broke my head on a New York City bench. I hope you guys enjoy. Everyone have a wonderful day. Peace.